Uh-oh.
Every other country.
But look, we're dealing with a lot of weird people on the internet here.
Okay, was that it? Oh, yeah. Trusty Ape. Howdy. And happy Dad's Day to all those dads out there rocking their dad bods. Twerk Patriarchy. Profess humor. Good to see you, my awesome wife. I figured I'd run one of these. Been a while. And so if anybody, who is this? Oh, well, cool. Yeah, we can do that too. It's like, hey, do you want to make money? Here's a link down there in the side chat. But yeah, I basically thought I'd come on and run one of these because I haven't done one in a while. I was talking about doing that. I wasn't very happy with my last Prism. I went back and checked it out, and there was a lot of there's a lot of BS going on with the audio. So I was saying wasn't really being accurately reported over there. I haven't used StreamYard in a while, so I figured I'd put this out there. I've got maybe a couple free hours here, and if anybody wants to come in and chat, cool. And if not, I've got some videos I could go and maybe start up another Prism stream. But again, we'll see how successful that is after last time. Hopefully the mic's okay. I'm just checking my audio settings here, and everything's basically normal. But if there's anything I can do on that end to fix, let me know. Oh, we can now show comments on stage. Oh. Yeah, only if you pay. I'm sorry. I clicked the wrong thing. StreamYard's like putting basically ads in the backstage, in the stream stage here. So anyway, so pretty cool stuff yesterday. We saw a lot of people turn out for the No King's Day protests. Not so many for the Trump parade. So to see what he had to say here. It's this bad orange man.
Every other country celebrates their victories. It's about time America did too.
We always celebrate our victories. What's he talking about? Like we never celebrate our victories. Yeah, he said that. He was like, nah, we don't ever do that. Yeah, we do. You're just not one of them.
Watching this magnificent display, our souls are filled with gratitude for every generation of warriors who have worn the uniform all the way back to the very beginning. So to every veteran across our land, and right here in our nation's capital, including 6 recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor, we love you, we honor you, and we salute your noble service to our flag and to our country.
And there's like a subtext here. President Trump presided over the largest military parade in the U.S. in how long? I can't read that now. Got some bullshit blocking my largest military parade in the U.S. in over 30 years. 30 years? That's not even that long. Celebrating the Army's 250th birthday. So they've done this within my lifetime. It's like not really that big of a deal, right?
You and we salute your noble service to our flag and to our country. $250 later, America stands tall, America stands proud, and America stands free. We're the hottest country in the world right now.
The hottest country? Is he talking about the what is it? He ain't talking about the weather. So hot. There's not that many people there. I mean, it's a crowd, but is that the great new American King? Yeah, apparently. Still for playing draft.
The iconic Sherman tank is here, ladies and gentlemen. It was the cornerstone
Good to see you, Sandy.
of the U.S. Armed Forces doing its military might in World War II.
They're literally cosplaying. They're like, oh yeah, check out these tanks from World War II.
The 2nd Battalion, 327th Infantry Regiment, 1st Mobile Brigade, 101st Airborne Division, Bastogne. And high in the sky, the AH-64 Apache. It's the premier attack helicopter in the world. The Army Research Laboratory.
But now they got the robot dogs or whatever.
Robot dogs reflect the latest in Army innovation. Look at this. Much like a true canine, these robots can go where soldiers cannot.
Yeah, and if you look at the No Kings protest, there's just vastly superior numbers.
Democracy is in jeopardy, and we want to speak out all we still can.
It's sad they actually literally have to have a sign that says, I'm not a paid protester. I think that's hilarious. Like a whole lot of mayhem going on there. Okay, that's about it. They're just showing LA. Yeah, so that's the news of the day. If you don't know, I've heard it's still No Kings weekend, so we're just gonna keep on going, and I say go for it. So yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend any of this stuff. Would have been cool, but just wasn't in the cards, and you know, it happens. It happened during BLM, kind of same situation. They had downtown Sacramento was all blocked off, and and I think I ended up staying in that day. I don't even think I left the house. So yeah, basically, I'm just covering a lot of the G-Man controversy right now, as far as well, I wouldn't even call it a controversy, but G-Man's doing a lot of content right now, really, really trying to call it Cook's Justin a deconstruction zone into a debate, and Justin's not biting, so I'm finding that just exceedingly funny, and so yeah, that's kind of what I've been watching a bit of lately, amongst other things. But yeah. And it sucks because I can't like search videos on this format or anything, which is why I'm over here watching on a different device over here on the TV. Um, here it is. Oh, that's why. Stupid fucking age verification. Sandy, zip your lip.
Matthew chapter 7, verses
I didn't say it, you did.
21 to 23. And it says to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name.
That's an old video. I'm looking for. Oh yeah, he's still live right now.
And that you set morality based on the scriptures, not on what produces good results or bad results. You do not compromise the standard just to get results. And that's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about when I said that rational theist guy is at least honest about his position. He's 100% for supporting programs that he knows actually have the opposite effect than what he wants.
So it looks like he's actually on reviewing one of his own videos now, like one of his own. Or as an old. What's up, Todd? Good to see you. John Lovell, good to see you.
Like, what I want is God's will to be done on earth. Secondly to that, I want there to be a reduction in the abortion rate. My primary objective is not the reduction in the abortion rate. I just try to represent what you're saying there.
Right. And I want to just
God's will and then abortion.
piggyback off of that. The Christian agenda, if you will, quote unquote, those things such as lowering the abortion.
Yeah, I'm doing very good. Thank you, John. Thanks for asking.
All that are
Happy Dad's Day, everybody. Gotten a message here. Can't see the video. This is a StreamYard, so you cannot display the video here. I'm actually listening on the TV, so sorry about the confusion.
To the real moral goal of Christianity, which is to teach people to first give them what they need.
You got meat for Father's Day? Is it kosher? Yeah. I had some meat. I had some bacon with my breakfast, which was delicious. It was delightful.
To believe in
I'm glad you got some meat.
Jesus Christ, and then if they convert by the Spirit of God, teach them to obey Jesus Christ. Everything else is consequential of that.
Are you saying those are secondary things or tertiary even?
Yeah, the consequences of that is not like abortion or lowering abortion rate or stopping abortion is not the main thing. I can understand why you guys.
Porterhouse steak. That eating like a king right there. That's yeah. All right.
Might have been misled by some people's actions to think that is the main thing. They're actually consequential.
It's 25 people's agenda.
Wait a minute. Ain't no condom, ain't no type of birth control pill better than just not having sex. You know, the best way.
Yeah. G-Man's totally right. Abstinence is the most wholly option.
Absolutely.
You got a rich daughter? Oh man. It's too bad I've already got a woman.
You gotta own up to the fact.
No,
So
I'm joking.
Own up to the fact, though, Gary, that kids, teenagers, young kids have been having sex all the time. They're going to keep right on having sex no matter how hard you tell them not to. So, they're able
It's not like nobody's ever told these kids not to have sex, and so this guy's like common sense, but they're like, no, wait, just hold on, just slow your roll, man.
Yeah, I've been super fucking polite. I've been super fucking polite. All right? Fuck.
Yeah, it's the Irish guy. I think that the Irish guy keeps talking over everybody.
Controversial point.
Egos, finish. Finish. I ain't asking for miracles here, guys. I'm asking for
This is Paul. This is actually Paul, the reasonable person, and it's the title of this video is G-Man versus the World. Paul's ego.
Half a minute. What I'm saying is that kids are going to continue to have sex no matter how hard you tell them that God doesn't like it, no matter how hard you tell them that they're going to hell if they do it. They're going to keep right on having sex. They've been having sex, and they're going to keep having sex. It is a better thing in my mind. There's two things I want to say. It is a better thing in my mind for them to know what sex is, know how it works, and know that there are ways of getting around pregnancy than for them to live in ignorance of it and to create a kid that they can't support. Now, that's number one.
They don't teach them anything about it, and they just tell them, don't do it, and then they do it anyway. Nobody can understand the Irish. Yeah, I agree. It's a stupid language.
Two, earlier on, Ken said something about the Christian agenda. One thing I've learned as an atheist tonight is that there is no such thing as a Christian agenda. There is no such thing. You guys can't even agree whether you're pro-life or pro-choice, pro-comprehensive sex education or not, pro-abortion or not. You guys don't know where you stand. Well, hold on.
StreamYard just like fucked everything up. So now every time I want to highlight a comment, there's like a whole. I don't like it. I don't like the changes StreamYard has made. I've got to say, so I'm not. But whatever, it's fine. I'm not going to like complain about it. I'm here. It's just try to force me to pay more, and then the service is like. I mean, there's some improvements, but some of it is not. Yeah, it's worse. Yeah.
The only reason you believe that because when Anarchist was in here, when Gary on the beat Maniacs was giving his opinion about it, he was getting away from this. I can give Matt Bell and King Jones credit.
All right, but what does the Bible say? What does the Bible say about sex education?
That both of them was sticking to this. You understand what I'm saying? But Anarchist, when he was in here, and when Tony B. was speaking,
Anarchist is a user. He's not talking about anarchist.
Heads and what. On the topic of 90.9% wrong.
Don't pull Anarchist under the bus because he said he believes abortion is wrong. So that's very clear. I believe that believes that it is wrong. The question was, I
think that it's wrong.
Jeez, this is kind of a shit show. I got booted, so reconnected with Wi-Fi. Hopefully, we'll see if it works better. If not, I might just quit this and start a Prism stream. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, I was gone for a second. I reconnected with Wi-Fi, so it's getting all janky. So congratulations, StreamYard. You fucked up a good thing.
Personally, only one. But the atheist, when he goes to the polls and votes according to his conscience, he's actually still imposing his beliefs on everyone else according to the atheist. So I'm not throwing him under the bus. What I'm saying is, if he sticks to this and votes according to conscience and is true about it and honest about it, he cannot sit here and say that he doesn't have a problem with the being in politics. I can't get women in politics.
It's funny if you see he's so animated. He's like bouncing the Bible off the desk.
I mean, that's crystallizing the world, though. Let me ask you a question.
Thank you for sticking around, John, and my awesome life. Thank you, everybody.
If I'm understanding correct, let me flip it around and give you another example. Do you believe that we should make it illegal for a person to have impure thoughts?
I'm sorry. Ask that question again.
You believe we should make it illegal for a person to have impure thoughts?
Do you believe we should make them?
Okay. He said, do you think we should make it illegal to have impure thoughts?
You can never know if someone's
No, but
Deploy the thought police, yeah.
How you would impose that, I don't know.
no.
Is that Steve McRae? It almost sounds like Steve McRae. Doesn't look like him in the picture.
Because how would you? No, that's ridiculous. That's
very subjective, obviously.
That wasn't even
Actually, I think that might be Steve McRae.
on Israel, so he couldn't even act something like that.
Not only that, every single human being would fall prey to it, including Ken.
Everybody would have to be in jail. Yeah, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Well,
Okay, your question.
I reduce abortion.
My answer to your question is this: Israel didn't have that law, and we don't need to have that law either. That's ridiculous.
That's along the lines of what anarchist was saying. He believes that it's wrong. However, as far as legislation about it, he believes that there's certain things that should fall solely under the direct jurisdiction of God handling.
So how should he vote? Or again,
God handles it. God handles it by making us the salt of the earth to stop the rot.
I think the answer is he shouldn't vote. Like, you should just leave it up to God and not participate in the election.
Right. So again, how do we vote? For or against? If they would have the right, you as the voter, how should you vote? For or against?
How should he vote? Or
how should he vote? Should he vote?
Well, that's why he said that he's politically pro-choice. He believes that the woman, even though he thinks that is wrong, should have the right to choose. That is something that should be decided between the woman's conscience and God.
Okay, so
so you don't legislate on it. If it's between the individual's conscience and God, then you wouldn't legislate on it. You wouldn't vote.
Are you agreeing with
Jesus is a king. He does not have to vote. Yeah, not true of G-Man. Just be like, watch me rebel, and then a few days later he's like, nailed to a piece of wood, and he's like, well, yeah.
And I think anarchism is wrong. Anarchism is always but my thing for you is this: are you pro-choice?
It's funny because like the whole if you accept the version of the story, he like goes in and they're like, okay, just take back what you said and we won't kill you. And he's like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. Sorry.
Do you believe that a woman should have a choice in this country whether or not to have an abortion or not? I know you, and I know what you're going to say.
I don't think you do know what I'm going to say.
So go ahead and say it. Go ahead.
I believe that it is wrong. I believe that abortion in every case is wrong, but I don't believe men should be imposing laws upon other men about that. I believe it is something that God should be convicting the person to that it is wrong. I believe that as
That's one of the best
Christians,
answers I've ever heard.
I believe that as Christians, hold on, I'm not finished. I believe that as Christians, we have a responsibility in sharing the gospel about Jesus Christ and making a clear distinction between right and wrong, so we should be telling people.
John says it's all part of Jesus' tricky plan. Yeah. Little did you know, he's coming back again.
That it is the same. I simply don't believe that men should be imposing laws about it.
Was it like the way when they describe it as like, the omni god who sacrificed himself to save him, sacrificed himself to save you from himself, like what are you even talking about?
On his shoulders of other men.
But if you think abortion is murder, hang on. If you think abortion is murder,
Wait a minute, guys. I got one more question.
I'm like 99% on that being Steve McRae. I think that is Steve McRae. He looks a lot different here, but this is an archive video, so it's pretty old.
Hey, question. Relax. Check it out. So let's get going.
It's not. It's just like a picture that keeps coming up. So it's not like him, but it looks like a picture of him, younger.
Okay. So.
And it sounds like him.
For him to believe personally that abortion is wrong, and the priest doesn't believe that it's wrong. But when he goes to the polls, you should vote and say you should have a choice.
I would imagine that's what he's doing.
And I would tell him, I would tell him to go read Romans chapter 12 again.
Yep. Okay. It is confirmed. That is Steve. That's Steve.
Power.
If
you believe abortion is murder, Ken, and you believe that the state is empowered to stop murder by the mandate.
Hey, Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. Happy Father's Day. Good to see you.
Then why is the state allowed to punish murder under the mandate of God when it's applied to adults or people who have exited a womb? But they're not allowed to do it for
the state does not punish murder under the mandate of God. It's a social contract
for abortions. Does that not sound inconsistent to you?
Well, I believe that is the context of.
Because nobody's going to bring that up. They're not going to be like, actually, it's a secular clause or a secular document.
The crux of the argument, because the matter seems to be a matter of, from a legal standpoint, of jurisdictionalism.
They say everybody has like an inalienable natural rights given by God, but it's not the command of God that they don't murder. Like that's not how the law works. It's not how the Constitution's written.
And that answer made no sense to me. It's a silly answer because you can't get around the fact of the inconsistency in his reasoning.
Right.
I don't know.
It's not consistency in my reasoning.
Yes, it is.
I've already given you my moral.
If abortion is murder and you agree that the state should legislate against murder, then you agree the state should legislate against abortion.
Right. But not.
So there are alcoholics remote laws that have prohibition?
Yeah, same principle. Alcoholism,
but it's the same principle. You against something and not advocate
alcoholism or something alcohol is not something the scriptures speak of.
Of course, guys. You see what I was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what did he just say? Hold on.
So there are alcoholics remote laws that have prohibition? It's the same principle.
Alcohol isn't a alcohol
But it's the same, but it's the same principle. You can't see something and not
alcohol is not something the scriptures speak of.
Alcohol is not something the skeptics speak on? Is that what he said? Like, I swear that's what he just said.
Alcohol isn't a alcohol
but
isn't
it's the same, but it's the same principle. You can't see something and not
alcohol is not something alcohol is not something the scriptures speak of.
Of course, guys. Well,
Oh no, the scriptures. I was like, huh?
You see what I was
It absolutely does, though.
talking about, right?
Yeah,
There is no Christian agenda.
Yeah, there is no atheist agenda. There is no atheist agenda.
I agree. I absolutely agree. There is no
thing about this conversation is
Oh no, so he is trying to argue for atheism poorly. Okay, yeah.
what Ken was saying, what I'm saying.
So he said the alcohol is not something that skeptics speak on, and he said there is no atheist agenda. And Steve sounded like he was actually going against that.
Alcohol isn't a
Hold on, let's go back a little further.
because you can't get around the fact of the inconsistency in his reasoning.
Right. Can I
I don't know. It's not consistency in my reason.
Yes,
I'm already giving you my moral.
if abortion is murder and you agree that the state should legislate against murder, then you agree the state should legislate against abortion.
Right.
So if you're alcoholic,
So wait. He said if you agree the state should legislate against murder, then you should agree the state should legislate against abortion, and then Steve brings up prohibition.
remote laws that have prohibition? It's the same principle.
Meaning alcohol.
Alcohol isn't a alcohol
But it's
isn't
the same, but it's the same principle.
alcohol is not something and not alcohol is not something alcohol is not something to speak of.
Of course, guys.
Wait, what? I see that statement is so important. Who is he talking about? Because I feel like we just skipped over something very important there in this argument. Like who is not speaking about alcohol?
Well, you agree the state should legislate against abortion.
The state should legislate against abortion.
There are alcoholics remote laws that have prohibition?
Should alcoholics promote what?
The state should legislate against murder, then you agree the state should legislate against abortion.
Right. But
So there are alcoholics remote laws that have prohibition? It's the same principle.
So should alcoholics promote the cause against prohibition?
Alcohol isn't a alcohol
But it's the
isn't
same,
a
but it's the same principle.
alcohol
You
is not
can't see something and not
alcohol is not something that alcohol is not something you get to speak of.
Of course, guys. You see what I was talking about, right?
Yeah, but
And I think he said that alcohol is not something the scriptures speak of, which is not true. They actually do have scriptures regarding the use of alcohol.
There is no Christian agenda.
yeah, there is no atheist agenda.
There's no Christian agenda. There's no atheist agenda. It's all fake.
There is no
I
atheist
agree.
agenda.
Good. We're all cut up now.
Say for you
all
that I
mankind.
believe that it is morally wrong. It is absolutely
Okay,
morally
but
wrong.
I get that. You've said it six
What I'm speaking is
Here's the problem. Here's the problem, Ken. Here's the problem, okay? Follow the bouncing ball, okay? On the one hand, if I was to walk up,
I love it when they do exactly that. They just keep repeating the same, statement over and over again until they get to finish the sentence.
walk up and shoot G-Man in the face, you think I would...
Terms of service, man. Terms of service. You can't say that shit.
If I was to walk up,
This is
and shoot G-Man in the face, you
And
think
dude,
I would
what? Why would you do that? What a horrible person.
go to jail for that? That's wrong as far as you're concerned.
Just one more time.
If I was to walk up,
and G-Man's like visibly like rubbing his eyes, big, very intently.
Shoot G-Man in the face.
Yep.
You think I should go to jail for that? That's wrong as far as you're concerned. It's wrong because God says it's wrong, because Gary is an image bearer of God, and I do not have the...
No, I think it's wrong just because he's like another human being. Like, you have no provocation. You're just painting a scenario. You just walk up and shoot him in the face for no reason, which, like, you would have to have like a motive behind that, right? You wouldn't have no reason for doing that.
Right to take his life, that would be murder. But
even if, like, okay, so let's say like you did it randomly, right? But you still have the intent to kill, so you still have a pre-existing motivation, even if the target is random.
Gary happened, or excuse me.
I agree with that.
G-Man happened.
Wine every day makes Jesus a drunk god? Does he drink wine every day? He said, like, drink, but don't get drunk. I think he said something like that.
To be a woman, and he was carrying a child, and G-Man, as a woman, walked into an abortion clinic and killed that child. Okay.
What is this hypothetical? If two of us just walked into what?
Because Gary is an image bearer of God, and I do not have the right to take his life. That would be murder.
Nobody said that. It has nothing to do with him being in God's image. You inserted that in there. It's just because he has life and he's sentient.
If Gary happened, or excuse me,
I agree with that.
I don't agree with any of that. That's ridiculous.
G-Man happens to be a woman, and he was carrying a child.
I wish you could see this with me right now. It's precious.
And G-Man.
Cosmic Kyle, good to see you. Hey, good to see you. Happy Father's Day, Kyle. I don't know if you're a dad or not, but either way.
As a woman, walked into an abortion clinic.
Happy No Kings Weekend.
And killed that child.
So G-Man's a woman.
G-Man happened to be a woman, and he was carrying a child. And he
just happened to be a woman and carrying a child.
And G-Man, as a woman, walked into an abortion clinic and killed that child.
And if G-Man did it, would it still be... Yeah. No, if G-Man hypothetically was a G-woman who was pregnant and then had an abortion, would it still be an abortion? Yeah.
Okay. All right. don't fix yourself on a dress, G-Man. Don't do it. And killed that child. That would not be legally murder, despite the fact that there are laws on the books that say if I shot Gary as a man in the face and killed him, that would be murder.
No, yeah, walking up and shooting somebody in the face is not the same as having an abortion at all. It's not even like roughly equivalent.
You can't see the inconsistency? You think the inconsistency of the legislation is not...
Oh, to your son? Yeah, I don't know if that... I mean, we could try. I don't know what the age gap is there. It doesn't really matter, does it? It's like chosen family. G-Man is... Yeah, I would say G-Man's a bit of a I don't want to use the word. Fuck, what's another synonym for that word? Hold on, I'll think about it. I'll come up with one.
You're thinking?
I believe the inconsistency is certainly in the legislation because, first of all, when are you...
Could somebody shoot me in the face? Wait a minute, guys. Let him finish, guys. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's making great points. Just let him finish. That's amazing.
Well, you have to love, Kelly. If we were to...
He's like, if I were to shoot G-Man in the face, that would be murder. But if G-Man was a woman and he went to go get an abortion, why isn't that murder?
To look at it verbatim, the law doesn't even regard you a person, or else it would assign you a social security number while you're in the womb.
That's nonsense.
Yep, that's straight out of George Carlin. Yep. Why don't they give you the social security number before you're born? Why don't they name why don't you legally assign the child a name before they're born?
There's a person. When you come out of the womb, and we are to look.
And there's certain cultures where they wait until so many months or years after the child is born to even name them, because the risk of them dying in like their infancy is so great, right? It wouldn't even make sense to give them a name before whatever, So it's like, no, none of that is legitimate. Like, otherwise, you would just name your child at conception and give them a social security number at conception because they're all going to be born, right? They're all people. They all deserve a number. Yeah, no, I was trying to think of another word for like disingenuous actors, you know. I'm not cowardly, but yeah, no, he's a coward. And he loves that word so much, it's hard to like repeat it. I was trying to think of, but no, I mean it's literally him calling the pot calling the kettle black or whatever.
After that certain gestation period,
Rational, I'm sorry for doing that, but just let him finish, and then I promise you can say what you're going to say. Oh boy. Go ahead, Ken.
Right. So what I'm saying is that there's an inconsistency in the law, and that the law doesn't even regard you as a member of the society until you were born. But it says that if you kill, okay.
How is that an inconsistency in the law that you're not considered a member of society until you are literally functioning in society? Like, you're not even functioning. Like, you can't contribute anything. Like, newborn babies are still parasitic, right? Like, they can't do anything for themselves or for anybody else. Therefore, they're literally parasites on society.
You're saying that if you kill a person, this is again under the banner of the law here in the United States.
I thought so.
G-Man has a birth canal. I'm gonna let that one.
Kill a person. If you kill a person who, as far as the law is concerned,
who is this man? This man is like, sometimes he's funny, but he's got like Jesus Christ like spray painted behind him on the wall. He's wearing like two different sets of headphones.
Not even.
I don't know. It's just really, really bizarre.
Exists. Where is the crime? Again, I agree that it's certainly worried about
the law, Ken.
Well, that was the problem, my friend.
You were
talking. I was my statement before was strictly as far as legality. I already covered beforehand that from a moral standpoint.
No, he's got his shades over his headphones. That's what I was seeing.
My standpoint.
Actually, it looks kind of dope now that I see it in the light.
I believe it is absolutely wrong.
You were asked, but at the same time, it will come across as you being inconsistent, though. Can I understand what you're saying? Okay?
You said that.
Yeah, so I'm saying what I'm saying is the law forces.
You said I could reply to you. Can I reply?
Yes, nobody interrupt rational.
Yes. The inconsistency of the position, even on the legal side of it, is while the fetus is in the womb, after a certain period of gestation, it is regarded as a person. That's why it's illegal to abort it after that certain gestation period. And that's why if someone walked up to, if the same person who shot G-Man walked up to a woman carrying a baby after a certain gestation period and shot them to the death of both, he would be tried legally.
Has G-Man ever been up to his neck in pussy? Well, probably at least one time, right? Yeah, no, I mean, other than that, he might have gotten stuck in Shanny's ass crack. That's about it.
Double homicide. A double homicide.
Okay, I'm muting everybody for a reason.
All right, I just want to say this real quick. I hope a lot of you are actually enjoying the show. But back in the day, people wasn't afraid to have these conversations. There was a waiting list to come into those kind of rooms to have these kind of conversations. We talked about politics, we talked about pro-life, we talked about whether or not God exists, we talked about various different things. And people,
Gary, it's been played out. Like, people got sick of it. Like, after so much time, they made so many videos like debunking you guys and calling you guys out on all of your bullshit, and then they got tired of this shit. We've evolved since then, right? That's why this, this is like a dead mode of, Like everybody else has grown past this, and you're stuck in the
wasn't
past.
afraid to go into other people's rooms. Today, because
They're not afraid. They don't care.
Cash App, because of
It's not important to them anymore.
super chats and all that stuff and whatnot, people monetizing their channels.
Yeah, not making money.
That is the real reason people don't want to go to other people's platforms, because these people are greedy and they just want to,
doesn't get us any money.
and they just want to be able to make money on their channel.
Mm-hmm.
But back then,
socialism.
People could donate, but they had to do it via different ways or whatever, or it was primarily monetization. So don't people like these channels where they're saying that you gotta go on their platforms and everything and whatnot. You'll notice that when I challenge deconstructions, when I said, what's going on?
he's on it again. He's not stopping.
He's my channel. He wants me to come on his platform because he wants to make money.
No, it's because he doesn't want to waste his fucking time. He has a college show. He's like, I got a specific, criteria. You answer these questions, and you can fuck off.
Talking to me. You understand?
It's like Matt Dillahunty. It's the same reason he's not going to entertain a debate with you.
So again, when you really care about these topics, when you truly, truly, truly care about these topics, you're going to speak out on them.
They are speaking out on them. They're just not talking to you. Like you're not the fucking authoritative voice in this fucking conversation.
So don't be deceived by these other YouTube channels.
What's funny is the famous atheists never actually claim that. It's like other people are like, listen to this guy, right? Nobody says that about G-Man. There's no Christian scholars out there like, yeah, go talk to G-Man. He's got a lot of knowledge. That's just you.
Who care? Trust me, they're gonna want to talk. All right, and I'm gonna be doing this up until November. I'm sorry, not November, August, so that debate against myself and deconstruction zone, where we annihilate these excuses long before we ever get there. So let's get back to the conversation, and I hope you guys are enjoying it.
Wait, he's collaborating with somebody else, some hidden person against deconstruction zone?
See a lot more of this on this channel. So that debate against myself and deconstruction zone, where we annihilate these excuses long before we ever get there. So let's.
Who's he talking about?
We're gonna be doing this up until November. I'm sorry, not November, August. So that debate against myself and deconstruction zone.
August, yeah. Supposedly they're gonna do it in August.
Truly care about these topics. You're gonna speak out on.
I don't believe that at all. Like from everything I've heard, I haven't.
If there's a buzz about it. So don't be deceived by these other YouTube channels. When people care, trust me, they're gonna want to talk. All right. And I'm gonna be doing this up until November. I'm sorry, not November.
I seriously wonder if he paid for this. I wonder if he paid for the debate.
August, so that debate against myself and deconstruction zone.
He's announcing it like it's serious, but I haven't heard anything other than out of his fucking mouth.
Where we annihilate his excuses long before we ever get there. So let's get back to the
Hey, Silverwolf, good to see you.
Conversation. I hope you guys are enjoying this. You're gonna see a lot more of this on this channel. Hopefully, even again tomorrow. All right. Let's get to it.
He didn't say who we are. He was all we, but then he never said who we are. Come on.
To get from the atheist community regarding that, and I want to hear from them first. I'm asking the theists in the room to be patient. Let them. I know it's going to be hard. Let them say what they're going to say, and then we will respond. All right. Any atheist, Paul Zigo, you can go first. If you're an atheist here, Gus, if you're atheist or whoever, and you got something that you want to say about God and whether or not He values life, this is your opportunity. No one's going to interrupt you, but just know that we're going to have a lot to say after you finish. Paul Zigo, you go first. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, what's the question is?
So I'm not sure if Paul's Ego might actually be the name of this guy's channel. He's got him listed here like this. How much do you value life? This is the original video, which is privatized. Rational theist versus Paul's Ego. And then he's got it listed up here in the archives as Paul's Ego and more, which we haven't actually heard. We've heard some out of both of these guys, but we haven't heard back and forth between the two of them much.
I value life.
Yeah, the God of the Bible, the character of God in the Bible. See that you like.
Okay, well, it's a tough thing for me to answer for a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't believe in God. So for me, that's like asking, does Mickey Mouse value lollipops? You know what I mean? Mickey Mouse doesn't exist. He's a character. He's a fiction. Okay, I understand it, but I hear atheists all the time talking about the flood. They haven't read the Bible, and they don't believe it actually happened. They talk about all these other things and whatnot. So I'm asking you again, in the scripture, God, does he value life? Yes or no? As I understand the Bible, and let me tell you where I come from. I was raised Christian. Now, Ken would probably disagree with me based on the lady that he said he dated early in college. Because I was never really, I mean, we went to church every once in a blue moon, but it was never really pushed on me as a kid. And I've been an atheist since I was about 13 or 14 years old, for all intents and purposes. But I do, I have read the Bible cover to cover. And the character of God seems to treat life as a creation, or as a creator treats something that he has created. I don't know if that
like in other words, it's only as valuable as I consider it to be, no more, no less, right? Like it has no intrinsic value outside of its importance to its creator.
means, to be honest with you, I don't know if it means he values life.
Yeah, if nobody comes in, I'm going to shut down in like 7 minutes and maybe do a prison stream. We'll see.
I mean, you're asking the wrong person. I guess the answer would be not in the way that I understand life should be valued. Okay, so you don't think that God values life according to the way that you understand it. So how do you understand it? How do I understand life as value? Yeah. Well, I break it down to suffering. Okay. And the reduction of suffering. Suffering is awful. Any animal that's suffering.
This is actually, I'm going to say, this is a piss poor argument for an atheist. Like to say that what gives, wait a minute. He says, why is life valuable? And he says, because suffering sucks. No, in the absence of life, there is no suffering, so that doesn't add value to life. So try again.
Yeah, I grew up out in the country. Anybody else around animals? And when an animal is in agony, it's one of the most awful things that you've ever heard. When a person is in agony, it's one of the most awful things that you've ever heard. So I value the reduction of suffering. That's how I show my value of life.
That's not going to work out. That's very poor argumentation. I don't like it.
If I see something, if I see a cat laying on the side of the road and it's been run over, its back is broken, and it's in agony, and I can end that cat's suffering, I'm going to do it.
That's an act of mercy, right? But that doesn't give it the value to life. The value is for well-being, I guess, of the living thing, and the absence of suffering, but that's not the value of life.
Another situation, Joe.
Wait, rational. Finish.
You might not like that, but for me, the suffering matters, and it also matters in the other direction. If there's a man dying on the sidewalk, and he asks me to pray with him as an atheist, now a lot of atheists disagree with me on this. There's a man laying on the sidewalk, and he says, "I'm dying. I know I'm going to die. Please pray for me. Please pray with me. Hold my hand and pray with me."
No, like the first thing you should do is like call an ambulance, try to give him CPR. I mean, well, if he's talking, he probably doesn't need CPR, right? But like, what's the like basic triage? Like, a rational person would be like, okay, can I stop this person from dying? Why would I pray? Like, it's not going to do anything.
I know the Lord's Prayer,
unless it's just to comfort them because you yourself know they're going to die. They wouldn't take their word for it.
Front to back. I learned it when I was a kid. I still know it. It's not going to hurt me to kneel down next to this guy and reduce his suffering and reduce his by saying the Lord's Prayer while holding his hand.
No, but it is irrational if you could do something to prevent the death.
You know what I mean? So I am for the reduction of suffering. Now, it seems to me that the God of the Bible has a whole lot of power to reduce suffering. And he doesn't do it. And that's what I mean when I say that he doesn't value life the way that I value life. Go ahead.
I got a pretty good idea. I know what the theist wanted to say. But before that happens, is there another atheist in here that wants to give their point of view about this? That's going to say something different than what Paul Tigo had to say. Over here.
Yeah, I don't think Paul made a very good. I mean, I understand where he was going with it, but I just don't think it was well argued.
I don't know exactly how different, but I think I got a bit different. I think God sees human life as extremely valuable, but not sacrosanct.
He believes that it's necessary, and he's already shown us that it's necessary, that he's perfectly willing to build us all and start again.
But I think
right, which makes no sense, like on its face, because you're like, if the whole purpose of existence, God created the whole universe for humans to have life, right? Then why wouldn't the human lives, like, because he's like, I could just make more humans, fuck you guys, But yeah,
when that happens, it hurts him. I think
it hurts him, but not as much as the ending of existence.
God does care about humans. Now, this is assuming he exists, by the way. Okay, now I'm stepping into your worldview to do this.
This guy, he's funny. He's funny. He's kind of a contrarian, I guess.
I've read in the Bible. He claims to love us, and I have no reason for to believe that he doesn't love us. But by the same token, I see the Bible as not just the chronicle of the chosen peoples of God, but I also see the Bible as the story.
Okay, you know what I always found funny about Brady DVDs on this particular topic?
Nope.
How are you going to sit there and say that if God exists, when right before this topic actually came up, they was talking about, the church this, the church that, and many of these atheist videos will call God immoral, they'll call this, that, and the other.
It's called a steelman. He's attempting to take on your position to provide, a positive. I know it's foreign to you, G-Man. I know. All right. Well, we're going on an hour, and no visitors today. But I know there's a lot going on. Everybody's busy on this. And then that happened. So, good afternoon, Christian Carpenter. Good to see you. Just wrapping up here. But I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Much love. Be kind and be well. And stay trusty. And fork the patriarchy. Little chess humor. Play chess. If you play chess, it's good for your brain. So, yeah, that's my advice for today. All right. See you later.